Story number 1.
AITA, this damn guy comments about me obnoxiously, so I have kind of a restricted diet. I follow a specific diet, not for health reasons, but because I like it, and it's easy for me. Last week, I was at this local event by the river near my house and stopped to eat my lunch. I know the food I eat looks weird to others, so I'm already self-conscious, but this guy I see around a lot is always commenting judgmentally when I eat around him. This event was near my friend's house, so I kind of hid out in her bushes to drink my food. I often eat mayonnaise for lunch. Sounds weird, I know, but it's like gold star level mayo. Think small-scale farm with free-range chickens. I raise my own and make it in-house. It's delicious and it's great easy energy for a long day. Anyway, this dude sees me and goes, "Did you just..." Like he can't believe it. I'm just minding my own business. I've been told I make a kind of revolting sound when I'm drinking my lunch, so I try to stay away from folks when I do it, but this guy just seems weirdly obsessed with letting me know how he feels. TLDR. AITA for drinking mayo for lunch at a fishing competition.
Story number 2. Can't believe I'm already asking this, but AITA. So, for context, at the beginning of the year, this cute farmer girl moved into town. I was going through some personal issues at the time, and honestly, I'm kind of shy to begin with, so I didn't think much of her, but ever since we first met, she's doted on me multiple times a week. Between her help in facing my personal issues and the loads of gifts she's been giving me, I sort of kind of fell in love with her. So, when she gave me a mermaid pendant a few days ago, I was over the moon. She even had a room installed in her house just for me. My own space in her life. Less than 3, I took care of the wedding prep, and we had a nice morning wedding yesterday, and, well, she was there for the wedding OFC, but not 5 minutes after it was over. She kissed me and grabbed her sword and hurried off to the mines north of town. Now, I know running a farm is hard work, and she's got a lot on her plate, but I was kinda expecting to spend our wedding day together. I tried to say something to her, but she just said she had to get something for the creepy wizard that lives just out of town, who, by the way, didn't even come to the ceremony. Like, at least bring a gift if you're asking my wife for favors on our wedding day. Last night, she came home at 1 a.m. on our wedding night, covered in blood, slime, and soot, looking like she was one toe stub away from passing out. Despite giving her the cold shoulder when she tried to talk to me, I gave in and gave her a kiss. Note, she didn't even wash the blood off before trying to kiss me, and then crashed immediately. When I got up this morning, she made a comment about me being quiet last night before again heading off to the mines. I just don't understand it. AITA here? Story number 3.
AITA for wearing culturally appropriative clothes my wife made for me. My wife, 30F, and I, also 30F, just got married a few weeks ago. We love each other to bits, and both of our love languages is gift-giving, so we try to give each other something special every few days or so. Last week, my wife asked me for some supplies, saying that she had a special gift in mind that she was making for me by hand, and that it had to be a surprise. After I gave her her morning coffee today, she was practically bouncing from excitement. She's an amateur dancer, very free-spirited, and handed me a huge gift bag. She's a very talented seamstress, so I wasn't shocked to find out that it was a new outfit. What startled me, however, was what the outfit was. A turban and seerwool pants, plus a shirt and some boots. All had a sort of pseudo-orientalist pattern sewn into them, and she told me they were magic clothes. She also called the seerwool genie pants, which made me viscerally uncomfortable. Now I have to be very clear here. Neither my wife nor I has any Middle Eastern heritage. We're both white and live in a rural farming town that's over 90% white, or at least white passing. I'm not really one to pry into people's backgrounds. We barely even know anyone of Middle Eastern heritage, except for some folks who come to town a few times a year to sell crafts, including one woman who has a shop we occasionally visit at a nearby vacation spot. I've always wanted to talk to her and get to know her better, but she keeps to herself and will only talk business with me. I didn't have the heart to tell my wife that she shouldn't be playing into Orientalist stereotypes of other people's cultures, though. She had spent days making me the clothes by hand and even dyed them herself. I seriously adore how talented she is when it comes to her work with cloth. I think she can be a bit tone-deaf in general, though, with some of her religious practices and things. I haven't brought this up to her because I know they bring her a lot of meaning and purpose, and she didn't have the privilege I had of going to a large university and studying CRT and living in a diverse environment. She's a wonderful person, and these few weeks of marriage have been absolute bliss outside of this incident, and she gets up super early to help me out around the house and our farm even though she has her own job as a waitress. But I really felt super weird putting on what were basically caricatures of someone else's cultural attire. Also, on a side note, they're made out of grass, so they're honestly pretty itchy, but I would never tell her that. So I decided to just wear them for a few days and then come up with an excuse to put them away somewhere, maybe on display in a more tucked away part of the house, after she's seen that I appreciate them. Here's where it gets complicated. I took a quick day trip this morning out to a little island to check up on this kid I found there who seems to be living by himself. That's a whole other can of worms that I don't even want to get into right now. Social services in this area are absolutely abysmal. I've basically taken it upon myself to help out the community as best I can, since our mayor's a dinosaur who doesn't do anything but won't leave office. We don't even have a proper school for the local kids, so a local just teaches them from books. And I kid you not, those kids haven't progressed intellectually at all in the past 4+ years I've been living here, but I digress. When I came back from the island, I saw a bunch of boats and lights docked in the harbor and a huge crowd of people. Then it hit me. Those people I mentioned who come to town a few times a year to sell crafts, today was their day to come. It had completely slipped my mind. So there I was on the harbor, right next to people who are actually of Middle Eastern heritage, wearing a ridiculously outfit that completely disrespected their culture. Magic genie pants. I can't. One of the visiting salespeople, the woman I mentioned earlier who runs the shop at the vacation resort, was there. I tried to give her that I didn't pick out these clothes, I promise, look with my eyes, but I could tell she wasn't thrilled by my outfit. I felt even worse because she handed me a cup of coffee for free, which I could tell she was doing only out of obligation because it's something that she does for everyone. I tried to make small talk with her, but she gestured to my coffee and said, smells good," with the kind of exaggerated friendliness that I knew meant that I should shut up and leave her alone. I feel like a total jerk because I was really looking forward to getting to know her better and talk about things that aren't just about selling goods, but that ship has clearly sailed. So maybe this isn't so much of an AITA as ATIFU, because I basically know the verdict, but I had to get it off my chest. If you made it this far into my long post, you're awesome. TLDR. My white wife made me Orientalist clothes by hand as a gift, and I accidentally wore them in front of a Middle Eastern acquaintance that I'm pretty sure I offended.